Hey all, what's going on? It's Scott here. I owe you guys a video and I apologize. Just hadn't been feeling well. For a minute there, I thought I had pneumonia. But I hope you guys are all well, getting ready for the holidays. You got your list to Santa about all the kits you want. I hadn't made my list yet. But anyway, that's neither here or there. But you can tell by the desk, it's photo etch time. I don't know about you guys, but it's a love-hate thing. I had to play a game with it, which means I'll do a few, walk away, do a few more. Pretty soon it's done. But that's where we are. So we have been working on the 1937 version of the 1 to 700 waterline Nagato. And the reason I selected this is I just think it's a unique configuration. I had no idea it had as much open deck space as it actually does. Looks like a friggin' cruise ship, but you can see the evolution. She's the last of the super dreadnoughts. You can see the pagoda there. Kind of, I think this is right before they went absolutely nuts with the Fuso, pagoda that had, 97 different levels. But I kind of like the configuration. I like that, that bent funnel. So about the build. Well, let's talk about the build. This is Ashima. There you go. I'm working on my accent, as you can tell. And it's 1 to 700 waterline. It was a waterline series. And the deck is a hunter. And I bought this used off of our trusty friends on Facebook at the Model Graveyard. And I got a steal on it, of course. I'm really getting to the point where I won't spend more than $10 on a model, including the wood deck. And it had the wood deck and the photo etch. I think the wood deck was for the refit, as it didn't really line up all the way. I mean, the main deck did. Don't get me wrong, but the tertiary deck back here where the mast is was missing because it had gun tubs in there. And this one doesn't, so I think it was for the refit, but it's okay. So, what do you think about the water? Shall we take a look? Seeing different colors in there, little highlights on the wakes. I'm not really sure yet. It's stupidly easy to do, and I keep toying with the technique. I made a mistake on this one though, and the fact is, where is that? I think I put it away already. You want to see it? All right, you can see it. Hold on. Stare at the pretty model. I bought some stuff that I really like. I got it at Hobby Lobby. It's this gloss gel. As you can see, it's kind of pricey, but I put it on too heavy. And so it started cracking as it dried. And I really needed to just not even use as much as frosting on a cake. Not that a lot of you guys have frosted a cake, but I mean, very, very thin. And I didn't. I left a little too much on. So when I started tapping my trusty spoon to make the wakes, it started drying that way and then started cracking. So if you guys remember, I have a nice collection of aluminum foil because I like to cook, and so does my wife. But I glued that down on the base. Then I airbrush it various colors. And then I get some of that gloss. And then I take my trusty pen, back of my spoon, and I just start doing this. And it starts pulling up little wake-like, because it sticks to the back of the spoon as you're pulling up on it. You do it all over the place. But it was too heavy, so I had to scrape it off and continue on, which is great because, I got to reclaim some of that gloss gel. And then as it dried, I took some of my trusty Gluzol. There you go. Get to watch it destroyed right here on video. And I thinned it out 1-to-1 with some water and just took a brush and painted it. And it kind of filled in those cracks. And then I used, gosh, I'm just have everything waiting for you, don't I? I used some of this wet look gloss. And I did this a couple times. And then finally, I finished it off with the last of my future. So you get that? So here we go, test. So aluminum foil, painted. Then we put gloss gel, not much. And then we put a little of this 1-to-1. And then we let it dry. and then we go ahead and hit it with the wet cloths. There you go. Everybody's up to date. So that's kind of how I did the water. It's still too much. The scale's wrong, I think, anyway. Personally, between you, me, and the four walls, when I crunch this all up to look like water, it looks like the right scale, but it looks like almost too busy. And you can't even really see it down in here, can you? But with a layer of that gloss gel and then a layer of the Glue-Sol, and then of course take your brush and highlight, it does start to get this opaque look. But I think it's just a hair the wrong scale. But and it looks a little too rough to the point that I'm not really sure if she's stationary or if she's underway. The wake along the hull would suggest she's underway. But if you look at the bow, I guess I could build that up to make it look like she's underway. But I'm building this for a specific reason. That is, we have at our trusty hobby town here, we are blessed with a guy by the name of Joel, who is the manager, and he is a modeler, thank God, first and foremost. So it's closer to a model shop than it is your traditional hobby town. So we're really blessed on that, and we're having a little local contest. So I thought I'd build this. As you can tell, we're getting ready for photo etch. Um, like I said, it's a love hate, but you know, I think at this point where she's really all done as far as the kit, I've even thrown the box out. Um, I'll work from top to bottom. So I'll start putting, on that main deck of the pagoda, I'll put the roof on it, and then I'll put the railings. Then we'll do that secondary deck, where that B turret is, and we'll also do the raised deck back here. And then what I like about these super dreadnoughts is it's two levels when you look at the main deck. So up here, she's housing the 5 millimeters, not even, probably 3.7 in there. But then it continues on until the third turret or the C turret, and it drops down and it has a different level. I like that look compared to, your traditional ships, but it's kind of fun. Anyway, and these Japanese ships, along with Britain, they're both island nations, but Japan, I think, was a little more radical in their designs, trying everything to come up with a battleship. And of course, they came up with the Yamato, but much later on than this one's configured. The other thing, too, is it showed that this had planes, biplanes, spotters, but it has no launch capability. So I'm thinking they just dropped them in the water and they would take off in the water. And with I didn't include them here due to the fact that the water that I made was a little too choppy. So, and I didn't really see a whole lot of footage or photos with those biplanes. So I'm just going this route. Obviously, you can tell down here I've got my little aft flag ready to cut out and bend and then put it on the back bollard back there. But I think I'll do that after I get those railings in. So that's my next step, guys, is really to go after those railings. So what's next, huh? Well, keeping in that vein of, super dreadnoughts, pre-World War II, I do have this monster that I'm kind of playing around with. I think I might do this one next. And you guys can see what it is. It's the Queen Elizabeth the 41 version. Before, she got remade and retooled and reconfigured to look more like the Warspite. But this one could be fun too, because it is a super dreadnought. The last vestiges of dreadnought construction in this one, but it could be fun. All the secondary guns of a different caliber. So I'm thinking about maybe that one too. But anyway, I really owed you guys this, and I'm sorry I didn't do a progress once. It just, I kind of, I was out of town, then I got sick, and then lo and behold, we were going to go out of town again, but of course I got sick, so we didn't, and now we got to go out of town next week. So as you can see, the travel is back on for work, but more importantly, how do I say this? Competition is on Saturday at 11. Husker football against Ohio State here in my hometown of Lincoln takes priority. but I like to do both. So I'm going to drop this off Friday night while it's completed, and it's Wednesday evening. So it's like, holy crap, I got a lot of photo etch to do. In between you guys and the four walls, I'm not really in the mood, but we're almost there. Home stretch. So there you guys go. I'm sorry. I owed you one. So I spent some time talking about it. I hope you guys are great. I hope you guys are healthy and well and ready for the holidays and have a lot to be thankful this for Thanksgiving. I know I do. And then the holidays, be that Hanukkah or Christmas or any of the holidays you celebrate in through there. Just have a wonderful one. And I'm sure I will post something before then. But if not, you guys have a wonderful rest of the year and a Happy New Year.